everybody, this will be back again with DatingStart. I hope you guys are ready for us to get further in this. I'm sorry I'm late on, doing stuff. Wait. What are the code words for? Can you tell me a secret code word? Is that where I last saved? What, can you tell me a secret code? Wait a second. I can't just tell you my secret code words. Those are for people I trust my soul with. Maybe if you're a good enough part master one day, I'll tell you one. Sand snorts, trying his best to hold in his laughter while you pout at him. He then shifts his gaze back to the ceiling. To be honest, this isn't the best place to make wishes. I'd show you where exactly, but I don't want to bore you. Besides, I should get going. You're making me late to my other gig. Good thing I know a convenient shortcut. Shall we? Sand shuffles along towards the entrance of the next room. You follow behind until your senses are swallowed. When the world returns, you're greeted with the sound of glasses clinking and the chatter of soft conversation. Sands nudges your side, tilting his head towards the tables. I'll meet up with you soon, kiddo. Why don't you go find us a seat for now, okay? There's something I need to take care of first. Deciding to follow his suggestion, you scan the room for somewhere to settle. A reserved card with the name Sands catches your attention, and you take a seat just as spotlight hits stage at the front of the restaurant. A tall, lanky robot claims the light, the beams reflecting off the metal. Hello, darlings and gentle darlings. Sorry about the dreadful wait, but you know what they say. The anticipation can be just as delicious sometimes. After all, tonight we have someone you all know well. As much as I know you hate for me to leave the stage, I'm happy to introduce our very own hilarious comic, Sands. The audience erupts with claps and cheers. And you can't stop smiling as none other than Sands' skeleton takes center stage. Knock their socks off, Sandsy. The robot exits stage right, and Sands walks up to the microphone while he peers into the crowd. Heya! The audience greets him back in a chorus of, Hiya, Sandsy! Thanks for being here, everybody. You know, I thought about canceling today. I was so bone-tired. But I think you'd have a bone to pick with me if I didn't make the night humorous. The crowd is a mixture of snickers and groans. But the atmosphere is a joyful one. The smiles on each monster's face a testimony to it. Heh, don't worry. There's a ton more where that came from. One of the audience members shouts, A skeleton? Nah, we're at MTT, guys. So it's more of a metaton. And so it begins as the laughter of the audience drowns the remaining silence. My, a pun using my name? Oh yes. Now, before I get into more jokes, there's a serious matter we have to address. Did you know today there was a kidnapping at Toriel's school? A collection of gasps scattered through the crowd. But Sands chuckles into the microphone to calm the concern. Don't worry, everything's okay. The kid woke up. Kidnapping. The audience breaks once again, the initial shock sparking into laughter, electrifying the room. Speaking of which, I started my day pretty late. Surprising, right? Well, anyone who knows me intimately knows I'm great in bed. Sands turns to you with a wink. I can sleep for days. Everyone else doesn't seem to notice where he's looking, lost in their own sea of snortles. The back and forth goes on throughout the set, and the laughter never dies for too long, bursting back to life again after each punchline. The smug grin stays fixed on Sands' face, regarding the crowd as his playground. And it's a playground he knows exactly how to play in. Eventually, Sands reaches the end of his set, but the rowdy laughter of the audience seems to be far from over. He raises his voice above the noise. Well, that's it for me. You've been great. Having sensational night. The rain of cackles is met with a thunder of applause. And in the blink of an eye, he isn't there anymore. but the laughter still is. It continues to ebb and flow, crashing against the walls and back into the ocean of the audience. Soon enough, the laughter fades back into conversational chatter, and you finally have a moment to your thoughts. The events of today play a silent movie in your mind. Some parts stand out more than others, but before you can dwell any longer, someone pulls you out from your reverie. Heya. You're looking kind of bonely, kid. Guess I'll just have to join you. Sans takes a seat at the table, sitting across from you. Thanks for treating me to dinner, by the way. Nah, I'm kidding. Luckily, I have a special reservation because I performed tonight. This place is so uppity. Even the silverware has to be reserved separately from the table. We don't even get a mint. You stare at the tablecloth and the candle that adorns the table. The candle emits a peaceful glow, dimming the rest of the world until it's just you and Sans. Just you and Sans. So, what do you think of the underground? It's pretty great, isn't it? The monsters down here, the love they possess. It really makes this place feel like home. You can see it in the way they act. They really do care. Take Toriel, for example. Toriel really does care about everyone, humans and monsters. She's doing everything she can to bring hope to all of monster kind. And she's compassionate towards any human that falls down here. Undyne is pretty fiery, isn't she? Even if she's not the captain of the Royal Guard anymore, she still keeps that passion on full display. After all, she's trying to keep everyone strong and motivated. Especially, Alphys really tries her best not... I called her Alphys. Alphys really tries her best not to lock herself away in her lab. You can tell there's something weighing heavily on her mind. But she's pushing her research efforts in order to bring monsters back to the surface. And Papyrus? Well, we've already talked about that. My brother is the coolest. He just wants everyone to like him. They all seem fond of you. You got a certain tenderness in your soul. I like that about you, kiddo. Hey, you've been really quiet. Heh. Why don't you tell me what's on your mind? You try to steady your breath and you clasp your hands underneath the table. Right now, the tablecloth is the most interesting thing. You focus on it while your mind wrestles with the idea of even speaking. Uh-oh. What would happen if we say we love him? You take- I'm just curious. I doubt this is gonna work. You take a deep breath, lip quivering, chest burning. You try to swallow, but your throat is too dry. Your mouth opens a silent "I" that fears to be heard. Sans lowers his voice, giving you an encouraging nod. Kiddo? That tiny bit of coaxing fills you with determination, and the words become a whirlwind. You tell Sans that you love him. He don't like that. His grin never falters, but his eyes tell all. The pause of time between now and what's coming next is too much. Your soul sinks. But then he speaks. Hey there, buddy. That's all flattering and all, but I don't see how you can be in love with me. Especially considering we never met before. Okay, I just wanted to see. We're friends here. I'm glad we're friends. You think about all the pranks that Sans pulled you on you today. They spark in your soul, and soon enough you're smiling to yourself, which sprouts into giggles, which blossoms into laughter. And the solo of the laughter becomes a duet when Sans chuckles along. I just had to see because I was like, I'm sure, like, that's crazy. You just met him, and it's like, I love you. You're amazing. Kid, what's so funny? You tell Sans that you're glad, you're friends, and you're happy you met him. His smile widens. Heh. Well, I'm glad I met you too. It's been fun. And hey, maybe we can do this again sometime. I mean, you're gonna be stuck here a while. Might as well make the most of it, right? Sans gets up from the table, his hands retreating back into his pockets. Well, I'm gonna get going. This place is too fancy for me. It's Metaton's hotel, though, so it's supposed to be fancy, I guess. But can you really call this a hotel? You snicker and say you don't know. You didn't receive a mint on your pillow or anything. Sand snorts, laughing with you once again. It fills you with determination. And though the laughter eventually fades, you're left with the radiating feeling of his soul smiling. Take care of yourself, kiddo. Because someone really cares about you. You can only sit there as Sans takes his leave. And he disappears once he's far away enough. But you swear as he's walking away, your soul could still feel him glancing back at you. You just wanted to be friends with Smiling Trash Bag? Gee, you must be really desperate. Well, if that's all you wanted, then I guess you got it. Congratulations. Nothing more for you to do. I'll be over here when you decide to change your mind. Because I'm 99% sure you will change your mind. Let me tell you something about that skeleton. He doesn't leave his soul vulnerable. I would know. I've tried to rip it apart. Hasn't worked out. I know he won't bare his soul to me. After all, why would anyone let their guard down around someone without a soul? But you and your soul, you're different. There's a trait beyond your determination that I can't quite place. I bet you anything that Smiley Trash Bag noticed it too. And if that's the case, there might be a chance for you. He just might let his guard down. You know that second chances exist in this world, right? The ability to start over, all over again? The power to reset, if you will? I wonder how you'll use it. What? Okay, that's interesting. So I have to reset. Reset will erase data. Continue. That's weird. You finally wake up after being unconscious for who knows how long. The room... Everything's gone. The room is quiet save for the rustling of the golden flowers beneath you sit up. You sit still, taking in your surroundings. Wait, there's rustling of the flowers. Though you're sitting still, the rustling of the flowers continues. It seems to be getting louder and louder as one flower in particularly turns to you with a smile. Howdy! I'm Flowey. Flowey the flower. But you already knew that, right? So what do you think? That power is something else, isn't it? You better take your chances this time. Oh, don't feel so special. You aren't the first one determined enough to have the power to reset. And you certainly won't be the last. Well, have fun. By the way, nice weapon you got there. What? What? Maybe you can try reaching that LV of 10. No. Violet disappears under the leaves and flower petals. As you stand up, you notice something in your hand, and your fingers gently grasp around whatever it is. No! No! It's a knife. You examine it, curious as to how you got this in the first place. Oh no. But a lingering presence behind you catches your soul's attention. It pulses once, a tingle radiating from your chest to your fingertips. A voice addresses you with a single word, and you have no idea what it said. The sudden fluttering of your soul is too distracting. Either way, it doesn't matter. You know exactly who's behind you. In one fluid motion, you turn around to meet him. Don't you know how to greet? Please, no. Hey there, buddy. Careful where you point that thing. As much as I'd like to say it's nice to meet you, how about you drop your weapon and, well, my job will be a lot easier. Oh my god. Please don't make me do this. Drop the knife. You drop the knife. The clattering of the blade echoes as it falls on the cold stone ground. As Sans' shoulders slump to his sides. There you go. Now you won't have to carry that everywhere. Feeling lighter already? I'm Sans. Sans the skeleton. So you're a human, right? Wow. I haven't seen a human down here since, well, since the last human that fell down here. You wouldn't happen to know that human, would you? Actually, don't answer that. It was kind of a weird question. It's not like every human that falls into the underground knows each other, right? Anyway, I pass by here every day to check if any humans have fallen. Don't worry, kiddo. I'm not going to capture you or anything. I'm just going to take you to a friend of mine. I'm sure she'd love to see another human. She's checked the ruins for humans herself. Lately, though, she's been pretty busy. So I've been helping her out, leading humans through the ruins. Huh? That expression on your face. Are you bored? Or maybe you're just tired. I was gonna show you part of the ruins, but maybe I should take you straight to the new home so you can rest. I don't blame you. Falling is exhausting, huh, kiddo? Come on, we'll be there before you know it. After all, I know a shortcut. You know, since you're tired and all, maybe you should hold on to me. Shortcuts can be pretty disorienting the first time around. What do you say? Sans holds a hand out to you. We're gonna hold on. With a hesitant hand, you reach for his. You can feel sparks prickling the tips of your fingers, until finally you place your hand in his. Uh-oh. The moment your hands touch, you feel your soul pulse. When you bring yourself back to the moment, you notice Sans' thumb clamp down on your hand. His eyelids can only stare at the point where his hand meets yours. You wonder if his soul felt something too. As if to dismiss your thought, he loosens his grip. You nervous? Heh, don't worry. You'll be fine. Just, don't let go. You walk together hand in hand, and the second you both step foot through the large stone doorway, you fall into familiar nothingness. Dark, yet darker. You feel like you're floating and falling at the same time, weightless. You try to look at your hands. They aren't there, but you can still feel them. Your reflex is to find something to grab onto, to ground yourself. There's nothing to hold on to. There's nothing, period. But in the blink of an eye, your surroundings change. Your legs buckle as your feet touch the ground once again. You manage to steady yourself right away. The room settles around you as you plant your feet firmly on the ground. Once you get your bearings, you realize that Sans is gawking at you. Huh. I'm surprised you're not even a little disoriented. Have you done this before? Sans, is that you? Hey, Atori. I got someone I'd like you to meet. Oh, is that so? A human? Oh my. She flicks to your side and you feel her very presence towering over you. Why, hello, my child. Though I suppose you seem to be much older than a human child, are you not? Still, I can't help but use the term of endearment. I hope that is alright. I found the human near the beginning of the ruins. Toriel's arms, fuzzy and warm, wrap around you in a protective hug. Oh, you poor innocent one. Do not be afraid. You are safe here. She lets go and you finally take note of the cozy home you're in. The smell of buttery pie crust wafts through the air, lingering on your nose. But before you can get lost in the scent, the goat lady coaxes you out of your trance with her gentle eyes. My name is Toriel, and I am the caretaker of new home. She's also the queen. Oh, Sans, there is absolutely no need for formalities. Do not focus on my title, my child. I'm just a silly old lady who worries too much. Speaking of, please allow me to check if you have any injuries. I promise I will not harm you. She hovers her hands over you, hesitant almost, as if you're made of glass. Toriel's smiles grows thin, and she retracts her hands. You have a few nasty bruises, my child. Did you not notice? You must have fallen hard. Do not worry, I can heal these quite easily. Her hands rest on your shoulders, firm and reassuring. You can feel a cool tingling sensation as the bruises fade away. Your HP is restored. Removing her hands from you, she gives you a gentle pat on the head. There, all better. Was I actually hurt? Looks like you got things taken care of here. I should get going. Are you sure you don't wish to stay a little longer, Sans? I have some snail pie left over from this morning if you'd like. Yeah, I'm okay. As much as Pie would like that very much, my brother gets kind of crusty without his bedtime story. Ha 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 ha! Your puns are always so fulfilling. Kiddo, you're really spacing out there. My puns can't be that bare bones, can they? It's probably been a long day. Perhaps we should all get some rest. Can't argue with that. Thank you for looking after the humans, Sans. Have a good night. Sure thing, Tori. Night. Sans takes a few steps towards the door. You turn to watch him go, and your soul pounds a little harder with each step he takes. Wasn't he going to say goodnight to you too? Or did he already say goodnight while you were spacing out again? The pounding recedes into the background as Sans stops to look back at you. And you feel something flicker in your soul, if only for a millisecond. Take care of yourself, kid. 'Cause someone really cares about you. And Sans takes his leave. Toriel squeezes your hand affectionately. Well, my child, tomorrow I will be at the ruins on royal business. You're free to explore the underground on your own. I apologize I cannot be with you on your first day here. But worry not, the monsters will not harm you. I'm sure that you will get along just fine with everyone. Perhaps you will become good friends with some of them. For now, however, you should get some rest. It's been a long day, has it not? Come, I will show you to your room. Toriel takes you and leads you down the hallway. All along the hallway are golden flowers. They're all similar to the ones that broke your fall earlier. Once you both reach the end of the hallway, Toriel stops at the last door and leads you inside. Here you are. Please make yourself at home. There are some pajamas on the bed that you can change into. She gestures to the neatly folded stack of pajamas at the foot of the bed. I can wash your clothes so you have something to wear tomorrow. Also, you'll find a special treat when you wake. She embraces you once again, swaying with you in a silent lullaby. I know it can be daunting being in a new world without anyone you know. Oh, perhaps I can tell you a bedtime story to put you at ease. Go ahead and change into your pajamas. I will be right back with some hot chocolate. Toriel steps out of the room, leaving the door open just a crack. You kick off your shoes and change into the pajamas, setting aside your clothes at the foot of your bed. Then you clumsily climb into bed and pull the blankets over you. Eventually, Toriel returns with a mug of hot chocolate. A handful of mini marshmallows set atop a dollop of whipped cream. She hands it to you and you take a sip. The rich, warm chocolate makes you feel like you're drinking a comforting hug. If you're settled, my child, I've brought a story to read to you. It's called The Little Snail in the Big New Town. Toriel tucks the covers around you so you're nice and snug. She then sits on the edge of the bed. Once upon a time, there was a little snail that moved to a big new town. At first, the snail was scared. They didn't know what they wanted to do in this new place, and the snail felt very lonely. But one day, the snail met some very nice friends. They made them feel very welcome. They even met a special friend whom they grew very close to. With these newfound friends, the little snail wanted to explore everything. They watched a movie. They had a picnic in the park. They even got to watch fireworks on top of a building. And though the town was still very big for a little snail, the snail didn't feel so lonely anymore. The end. With a smile, Toriel closes the book. I hope you enjoyed the story. Was the story too childish? Or perhaps you've already heard this one. I'm not sure if these books still exist on the surface anymore, though it is possible. Oh, here I'm worrying I might have bored you. You're probably just dozing off. I know you're probably too old to listen to bedtime stories, but I thought it would help you feel more at home. For now, please try to get some rest. I will be here if you need me. Good night. You know what? We're gonna call her Mom again. Good night, Mom. Did you just call me Mom? Call me whatever you like. After you finish hot chocolate, Toriel takes the empty mug from you. Standing up, she places the storybook on the shelf. Then she picks up the clothes you left at the foot of the bed. Sweet dreams, my child. The lights linger a little longer, but with a flip of the switch, they're out. And the sound of the door closing signals Toriel's leaving. Oh, leave. A wave of exhaustion washes over you, and you finally allow sleep to claim you. DatingStart. Your chest throbs, stings. You reach out to touch it, to quell it. But you feel a line carved into your hand, deep and burning. What the heck? I'm okay. You try to reach for your chest with your other hand, and it plunges into a cool, calm pool of water. You take a breath, but no air rushes in. Then you feel so warm your body squeezed tight, and it sounds like the pitter-patter of rain, and it smells like fallen snow. But the smell and taste of bitter iron cuts through the comfort, flooding your senses. Why? You feel the world slip out from under you, only to reconnect seconds later. You've taken the blanket with you on your trip to the floor. It's the middle of the night. At least it feels like it's the middle of the night. It's hard to tell when the sun has nowhere to seep through. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. But then the aroma of butterscotch and cinnamon awakes your senses. My child? You realize that Toriel is also in the room. She sets something down on the bookshelf and makes her way over to you. My child, are you alright? You have an affinity for falling, do you not? She kneels by you, scooping you into her arms. Did you have a nightmare? Or did I wake you? I'm sorry if that is the case. She lets go and moves to sit on the edge of the bed. You follow her, your legs dangling over the side. My child, I worry about you. You've spaced out quite a bit since you've arrived, and now it seems your dreams cause you to launch yourself from your bed. She cups your face with her hand, her fur warming your cheeks. Then she returns her hand to her lap. Is there anything you wish to speak about? Oh dear. I'm okay, I just need sleep. Sans. I dreamed I was killing everyone. The words stumble out of your mouth without order, without rhythm. Toriel inhales, pressing her lips together. My innocent one. It was only a dream. It isn't real. Are you worried that you're going to do such a thing? She reaches towards your face again, only to hesitate to bring her hand back into her lap. You know how I see this? I see this as an intrusive thought. A thought that pops into your head out of nowhere. But it doesn't make you a bad person just because you thought about it. Worrying about it means that you care. It means you have good in your soul. That sort of action is a choice, my child. It is a choice you have to actively, deliberately make. So please do not worry too much about such things. It was a nightmare, and nothing more. And I promise you'll never have to defend yourself in a fight against a monster. I'll make sure of it. She hugs you tighter, her hands rubbing the back of your head as she pulls you even closer to her. I'll always be here for you, if you need me. Without a second thought, you wrap your arms around her. All is calm. Your arms circle her as best as they can, embracing her protection. The word Mom escapes you and you exhale into a hug. You feel Toriel's arms clutch you even tighter, shielding you from the terrible things of the world. There. Everything is alright. You're safe. You breathe a sigh. She eventually releases you, her eyes searching yours, taking care not to frighten you. Her hands alights on your cheek. Try to get some sleep, alright? You can rest for a couple more hours before the day begins. You nod and climb back into the covers. Toriel gets up from the bed and nuzzles your forehead, drawing the blankets over you. Rest well, my child. You hear her footsteps trail away. The closing of the door punctuates her leave. And after a few minutes, you fall back asleep. It's morning when you wake. At least it feels like it's morning. It's hard to tell when the sun has nowhere to seep through. Your body feels well rested, continuing to sink into the soft mattress in hopes of staying there. As you glance around the room, you notice something on top of the bookcase. Pulling off the covers, you slip out of bed. Oh, it's time. There's a plate with a slice of pie. So we're out of time. I got to save. I felt like normally, I feel like she's gonna be, like, that's gonna pay for telling what your dream was about. But maybe she's gonna accept it because it was an intrusive thought. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!